The episode starts with Bani trying to escape from the storeroom. On another side, Talika realizes the gel is not working. She calls for help. Bani escapes from the storeroom window. Yuven sees Hemant and confronts him. Where is Talika? And asks if he is trying to kill Talika like he killed his mom. Hemant asks why. Would he kill his love? He says Bani brainwashed you and I didn't harm your mom. Yuven thinks Dad is not agreeing even after seeing me as Kabir, so Bani's doubt is wrong. Hemant calls Kabir to come with him to save Talika. Yuven goes with him. Hemant thinks the real Kabir will counter seeing Talika in danger. Bani comes to Talika. She jumps into the fire and rescues her. Bani tries to escape, but her Sari gets struck. Yuven and others come there. Bani calls for help and she says to Yuven that Hemant did this to put fire to Talika and change gel, and he knows that you're Yuven, not Kabir. Yuven gets shocked. Yuven tries to save Bani. Hemant stops Yuven. Bani asks Yuven to not come in, and she asks Yuven to recall what happened to his mom. Hemant asks Bani to stop. Bani collapses in between fire and asks him to recall what happened in the past with Vandana. Yuven recalls how his dad doubted his mom that Buntai is her daughter with Guruji. Vandana tells him he is just her Guruji, but Hemant didn't listen and says she cheated on him, and because of the drunken state he trips and drops the fire, which burns Vandana. Yuven tries to go to his mom, but Hemant stops her. Yuven recalls the past, and he throws his father recalls how Hemant feels guilty. Learning Vandana is innocent seeing the DNA report. Family members try to control the fire. Yuven says to Hemant, I have recollected how you killed my mom. Everyone gets shocked. Yuven covers himself in a blanket and saves Bani. Yuven asks Bani if she is fine. He tells to Bani your belief has won, as I remember everything. Hemant cries. Bani hugs in happiness and says Kabir is gone forever. Talika feels upset. Yuven scolds Bani for risking her life. He says, you're correct. Dad is the murderer who killed my mom, and to hide his mistake, he made me a mad person. Bani says to Yuven that she can understand his pain, but you need to face this truth. Yuven feels a headache and hugs Bani. Veer asks Devraj how Kabir is hugging Bani. Yuven removes his contact lens. Devraj says he is Yuven who pretends to be Kabir. Bani smiles. Devraj gets shocked to learn Hemant is the culprit. He hugs Yuven and Bani. Hemant asks Yuven to forgive him. The episode starts with Devraj slapping Hemant. Devraj says he is ashamed of himself, as in his parenting he committed a crime, and that to Vandana. Devraj questions Hemant on why did he do this. Hemant says he did not try to kill Vandana and says when they were arguing he got really angry with Vandana and killed her. Hemant reveals to everyone what happened between him and Vandana. Hemant says he used to be very possessive with Vandana. Hemant says he got jealous with how Vandana's music teacher and Vandana were close. Hemant says after Vandana's music teacher died, she brought a girl home, and i.e. Buntai, Talika, who is the daughter of Vandana's music teacher. Hemant questions Vandana on why did she bring Talika here. Vandana says she gave her word to the music teacher to take care of her if something happens to him. Hemant says Vandana tried to make Talika a part of this family, and he didn't like that. Hemant says Vandana doing this he suspected her even more. Hemant says he got into an argument when he was drunk. Hemant is shown to be questioning Vandana if she had an extramarital affair. Vandana says she didn't. Hemant asks Buntai to leave the house. Yuven is shown to be defending Buntai. Hemant says after that Mahashiva Ratri came, and says he didn't want to kill Vandana, but his suspicion made him make a mistake. Hemant apologizes to Devraj. Devraj asks the police to take Hemant away from here. The police take Hemant away. Bani greets Agastya and says he doesn't know what happened today. Agastya says he knows and says Talika told him. Agastya says he came to say goodbye to her as he has a London flight, and he wanted to meet her one last time. Bani asks Agastya when is he going to return. Agastya says he is not going to return. and says he is going to take care of the studio there like his dad ordered him. Agastya says Bani and Yuven's is true love and not to lose it. Bani agrees. Bani asks Agastya if he has ever fallen in true love. Agastya says he didn't. Agastya says farewell to Bani. Bani also says farewell to Agastya. Yuven sees that Bani is hurt. Yuven says he will call the doctor. Bani says, there is no need for that. Bani says the doctor is talking with Talika about his next treatment. Doctor says to Talika and Rathod family that Kabir is not completely out of. Yuven. Doctor says it's good that Yuven has faced his trauma and says there is no cure for split personality and says it can only be controlled by medicine. Doctor says Kabir might come out if Yuven is too stressed. Doctor asks Talika to warn Yuven and Bani so that they will be mentally prepared. Talika agrees. Doctor leaves from there. Devraj thinks of how much Bani has gone through for Yuven. Charmi also says to Talika they know how much she has sacrificed for saving Yuven. Veer reminds the family what the doctor said about Kabir might come out any time and says they are still not out of danger. Talika says there is no need for him to worry and says Kabir will only come out when there is a major situation. Brenda comments on Hemant's crime. Devraj agrees and says he is ashamed to call himself his father. Veer comforts Devraj. Talika says she will go and call Yuven and Bani. Talika sees Yuven taking care of Bani and says to herself that this is not Kabir, but Yuven. She says she should not allow Bani to know the truth of her marriage and what happened with Kabir. Talika is about to leave. Bani sees Talika leaving and calls her. Talika goes to Bani and Yuven. Bani thanks Talika for what she did and says even if Talika is right in front of Yuven, Kabir is not coming out. Bani also asks Yuven to thank Talika. Yuven thanks Talika for what she did. Yuven leaves after talking for a while. Bani says to Talika to never think of herself as an orphan as she and the whole Rathod family is always there for her. Talika hugs Bani and feels guilty for hiding the truth from her. The episode starts with Yuven asking Devraj why he has tears when his fourth generation is going to come. Devraj says these are happy tears and I will be happy when I get great-grandchildren from you and Bani. He says he called Pundit to get them married again. Myra says she will call Bani. Yuven stops her and goes to bring Bani. Devraj prays Shiv High to protect Bani and Yuven from problems. Talika comes there. In the room, Yuven stares at Bani. Bani asks him to not stare at her. She says she feared that they get separated whenever they are happy. Yuven hugs her. Bani asks Yuven to promise her that he won't leave her hand ever. Yuven promises her. Bani asks what if he changes his words. Yuven writes on the paper that he just belongs to Bani for his whole life. Bani says it's just normal paper and anyone can prove it false. Yuven says then I will give you writing on stamp paper. Yuven shows Bani stamp papers and says for 365 days a year, 7 days a week, and 24 hours a day, Yuven belongs to her. Bani says she is just kidding. Yuven says his love is not a joke and asks her to sign on it. She signs on them. Devraj asks Veer when the lawyer will bring the divorce papers. Veer says the lawyer will bring it tomorrow. Devraj says to Talika that he is going to make her divorce Yuven to live her life. Talika agrees, controlling her tears. Yuven kisses Bani. She runs from there. Talika cries, holding her nuptial chain. She sees Bani and Yuven coming downstairs. She thinks she is not having enough courage to tell Bani about that night. Bani is busy in the baby shower function. Yuven notices Talika is stressed. He goes to her and asks if she is fine. Talika says fine. Yuven asks her to sit and goes to get her juice. Yuven gives her juice. Talika thanks him. Bani tells Charmi that her kid is going to stay with her more. Charmi says she wants to have a kid like her. Alapana says one Bani is enough. Brenda says Bani needs to end her action image as next is her turn to be a mother. Yuven thanks Talika for helping them. He apologizes to her for troubling her as Kabir. Talika thinks Kabir gave her so much love she lost in childhood. She thinks about whether to tell about that night to Yuven or not. Yuven leaves. Yuven meets Bani and tells her that no one can enter between them. He promises her that there won't be any problem in their relationship. Yuven and Bani and other Rothode family dance at the Charmy's baby shower. Talika cries and leaves. Watchman receives Talika's report and searches for Talika. Bani, blouse lace gets opened. She goes aside to set it. Watchman gives Talika's report to her. Bani thinks if something happened to Talika. She opens the hospital report and learns Talika is pregnant. Episode ends.